Thank you for that wonderful intro. And yes, a very warm welcome, viewers and pool fans, to Pro Billiard TV and this 2026 Predator Pro Billiard Series event coming to you live from the heart of Rome at the Cavaliere Waldorf. And yes, we kick off day three's action of the Banca del Fucino WPA Women's World Championships. It's a loser's second round matchup. This for a place in the loser's third round. And it's a matchup between a player flying high, Seo Seoa from South Korea, taking on the very tough and determined Anna Gradisnik of Slovenia. This is a race to 4 best-of-3 sets. It's winner breaks, shot clock in play. And as you will notice, it is hand-racking for this event. Referee Kyle Richards from Canada. My name is Gethin Davis, and I'll be flying solo with you for this match. We do have 4 tables in total being streamed right now. Another clanger of a match on table 1 between Kelly Fisher and Yu Han. And over on table 3, Mina Tani taking on Maite Maria Teresa Rapero from Spain. And table 4, Kennedy Mayman taking on the current champion, Cesca Centino. Bringing it back here, it will be Anna Gradisnik who's won the lag and will get us off and underway. And something I will point out to our viewers, these players have been getting more reward from the cut break so far in this tournament. But as the tables bed in, that may change. So keep an eye out for where they're breaking from. And on this occasion, nothing down. And possibly a look at the 1 ball. So I mentioned flying high in the introduction. She's the current 8-ball world champion, and she was the runner-up in the 10-ball back in 24. She's very much in form. Unusual to see her in the losers bracket so soon. And that was a defeat to Maite, who is in action, as I mentioned, on table 3. On this occasion, not making the 1 ball, but finding cover with the 5 by the looks of it. Well, she spotted a pathway past the red 3 into the top left corner, bottom left from the overhead. Oh, and she's not found it. She caught the 3 too thick. It was quite a big pocket with where the 3 was. And I'm not too sure if she's got away with it, although Seo Seoa has come out with the jump stick, so she may have to go over the edge of the 8. As you can tell, it's cool pocket in this 10-ball format. Oh, she has called the 1 and made it, but didn't keep control of the cue ball. And an early ball in hand for Gradisnik here. And let's have a look at the table. Well, if the 6 passes the 10, that 4 ball will be cleared out before she needs to get on the 7. This is definitely a good opportunity early in this opening rack. And this will be a nice opportunity just to get her settled in here on the TV table. And it comes from a strong field of Slovenians. And she has pulled out some fantastic performances with multiple European Tour titles. And she's also picked up the European 8-ball championship back in 24. And she's just finished a little low if she wanted to take this on for the side pocket. The cue ball running up the table away from where the 6 will be. she may be forced into taking this on to the top left. Oh, she decided to go at it with a bit more venom to bring the cue ball up and down the table. I'm not too sure if she achieved the position she was hoping for. She wasn't far away from the pot, but look where the 8 ball is now hampering Seo Seoa. And again, well, it looked like she was going to return with her jump stick again, but electing to play the 1 rail. Good things could happen if she catches a thin edge or thick, but halfway in between, she needs to just think about where the cue ball may go. Yeah. And unusually, I believe that's second foul for Seo Seoa. From the spread of the table, I wouldn't imagine that would be something that Anna would go for with 3 foul, but 2 scratches. Yeah, Anna's just having a look at where's the best pocket to go for with the 5 to come over for the 6, indicating that it does pass the 10. Oh, needs to be careful of the 7. He has played that strong enough. Not too sure she needed to bring that 7 into play, but it's worked out. And now, let's put herself back in great position here for this opening rack. Well, a little fortunate to have left Seo Seoa in trouble after her first ball in hand, but given the golden opportunity of having ball in hand for a second time, she's tidied this pattern away very nicely. And as I mentioned, this would just be a nice early rack to get under the belt and start to feel the flow. And she does take the opening rack, and, well, Seoa sat in her chair. Her last 2 visits to the table, scratches. She may just be starting to think that this morning is not going to go her way. However, there's a lot of match left in this. And I may be solo on the comms for you today, but joining me, Michael Salmon in the team, bringing you the statistics as they come in live. And if you want to keep updated with the scores and the live stats, please do visit the ProBilliardSeries.com website, and you'll find links to the live statistics for this and the match over on table 1. And as the set progresses, this may start to give you a better indication of how the players are performing, but it's the scoreline that matters the most. And Anna, in the winner breaks format, returns to the table from the same position. Her last break was a dry break. It looks like she caught that squarer, putting more energy into the pack and got a real good spread, but again, not making a ball. The 1 ball is not in an attacking position for Seoa, but options for playing safe here. Slightly hampered with where the 3 is for her queuing. And I think that's forcing her into playing the left side of the 1. So she's called the bottom left pocket with the bank. Perhaps a little insurance getting cover from the 6. That's on its way. Oh, fantastic shot, and indeed played it in such a fashion that the 6 and the 3 could have provided cover if it didn't drop. And has left a bit of an angle to come down for the 3. Now really, it's looking at where she's going to get position on the 6. To come down for the 7, there is a small possibility of the 7-10 combination, but with no early 10s, the 10 will be respotted. Just looking ahead at Seo Seoa's pattern here. See the focus, playing that drag shot to great effect. And better still, she was able to play that to bring the 7 out. And that has now made this opportunity a lot easier for her. I'm really impressed with that shot selection there. Leaving the 5 on as well. Yeah, she's just a little indecisive on this 5. Could just float through and let the cue ball do the work, but needs to be particular, because if she overruns, the 7 is blocking the path into the bottom right. She's played that very well. Put a little bit of venom in that. Drawing into the long rail and back out again for the 7. Should be able to avoid the 10 here. I don't think she's that straight on the 7. Where the 8 is. She doesn't need to be too particular. Oh, avoids the side pocket. Did look a little bit like it was heading in that direction from the overhead. And this has been very nicely done by Seo Seoa. She's put these away in very authoritative fashion, bringing the 7 ball out when it looked like she was going to be forced into having to play tricky position. and gets the scoreline to 1-1. And now both players really have had the chance to bed in. It'd be very interesting to see how this first set progresses from here. It's winner breaks, so Seo Seoa back to the table, and we'll have a look at her first break of this set. As I mentioned, over on table one, another big matchup between Kelly Fisher and Yu Han, with my dear colleagues Mark White and Benjamin Belhassan bringing you the comms over there. That's currently at 1-1 as well. All losers round two matches underway. Look to bring some updates to you as they start to come in. And some interesting lineups for our viewers out there. And if you do want to keep an eye on your favorite players, please do visit the Pro Billiards Series website. Ooh. Well, that cue ball looked like it was going to go in the side pocket, took a heavy contact, and then scratched in the top right. Ball in hand to Anna. Little tricky cluster with the 6, 5, and 8, but there's a big enough gap to play for the 5 there. So certainly options for offense here. I'm not too sure she's taking that option though. And she's played that very well. Just a little short of running up against the 3, which would have narrowed down even more options for Seoa, but that little gap that she has left may have left the one rail escape. I didn't pick up what she called to Carl Richards, our referee. But made good contact. The 1 has leaked out from the 4. Yeah, and being forced into trying to play a safe from there was always going to be difficult, and has left this 1 out for Seoa. And I'm not sure that her ball in hand from Soa's break was the right decision in playing safe. I do think where the 4 ball was positioned, there were options for Anna to attack or maybe play a safe from the 5. Well, Soa's had to play that a little softer to not bring the 9 into play, and she may have just fallen the wrong side of this 2. Yeah, which has forced her to come underneath. But that gap between the 10 and the rail does not look like it's big enough for the 3 to pass, so oh, she's called the 3. Kyle thought she called the 10. It is the 3. Keep your eye on this. Oh, there was a big enough gap. And that went through clean as a whistle, and she's finished on quite a nice line for this 4. She may need to come across the table twice, or rather off 2 rails. Ooh, that may be running on too far though. Yeah, and a little look away from Seoa. Made the 4 clean. Just a little bit too much on that cue ball. Just called Kyle over to have a look at the 5 against the rail, just to check if it was touching or not. Don't think it is from the indication from Seoa. No. However, not a bad result from that missed opportunity. She's played it very gently. And that's pushed the 8 up against the 6, which has made the clearance very difficult. I don't believe it's dressed up for a combination into the bottom left pocket as we look from the overhead. So Anna possibly forced into going safe here, freezing the cue ball. Needs the 5 to run. Needs the 5 to run. Oh, great camera angle. Looks like she's taken most of it away. Oh, but not enough of the 5 for Seoa to take on the combination. And she's made that very well. So well that the 5 has stayed over the corner pocket. And brings us back to that 6-8. Wow, what power. Bringing the cue ball back out. She's called the 8. It doesn't look on from the angles, but maybe from where she's left the cue ball, she can throw the 8. No, that wasn't the intention. It was always about putting the cue ball safe. She's played that very well. There is the 1 rail escape, bringing the cue ball past the 9. Just wondering if Anna was looking to see if she could get the cue ball behind it enough to bring it towards the side pocket, but she's called it to the bottom right as a bit of insurance. This was the shot she was trying to play, but doesn't want the 6 to come out that far. Good cue ball. It's going to make cueing tricky for Seoa. Oh, she's played that so soft. A lot of trust in her cueing there. Ooh. But did not get the result on the 8 she wanted. And Anna bouncing out of a chair. I would be too. That was a good opportunity for Seoa there to really send a shot across the bow. And really putting to Gradisnik that her safety play needs to get better. However, this will be a very nice opportunity for her here. And perhaps Seoa's just not going to get it all her way. She's run into the 9 here, but been a bit fortunate. Ooh. She cued that really well, but brought the cue ball tracking towards the 10. She caught the right side of the 10. It would have dressed up kind of nicely, but now it just looks a really thin cut. Too thin. That 10 ball looks like it's just sat off the rail. Doesn't look like Seoa's called a pocket for insurance. No, full-blooded for the containing safety has done that well. And has called the bank. To the top right as you look at the screen. That's on its way too. Fantastic bank on the 10. And Anna regains her lead, 2-1 in this opening set, race to 4. And she'll be delighted with that. It did look like Seoa was just starting to bed in, and when she starts making them pots, Seoa is formidable. But Anna back to the table, and she will be delighted to be 2-1 up and back with the break. As we bring the statistics up, I'm just having a look out across the arena. A few updates. Kristina Zlateva, 2-0 up in her opening set against the tough American Emily Duddy. And another American hopeful, Kaylee McIntosh, is 1-1 with the tough Japanese player Samiya Konishi. Anna having the bulk of the breaks so far. But she will be wanting to make a ball. Her contact has been great. Her power has been enough, just not getting the result. And yet again, not making a ball. And this one is available to the side pocket. However, where the 2 is, I'm not sure there is much value in attacking unless she can get down underneath the cue ball. And she can. It did look like the rail would have been in the way for this. Yeah. Was ambitious, and where the 4 is, the clearance does not look that easy for either player. Now, I was saying, Anna needs to get her safety play tighter to really lock up. So this is not looking bad unless it slides past the 9. It has done. But that was played very nicely with the right pace, that if it came back behind the 9, Seoa was in a world of trouble. And when these girls are at this world-class level, safeties really do need to be tight. We know how all these players do not mind to bring the jump stick out. And she's played that delightfully, bringing the cue ball across the table twice for the 2 into the corner. Not too sure what sort of angle she's left, though, to be able to hold for the 3. Looks thick enough that she could just draw back. bringing it back to the 4 I alluded to earlier. It's not in a pretty position where it's located behind the 8, certainly not for attacking, but it's in a lovely position to consider a safety. Oh, she's run into the 5. Cue ball is coming around nicely, and that may have fallen quite nicely for Seoa there. With the cue ball running into the 5, it does come down to a little bit of chance. But where she finds herself, she may decide to attack this. I'm not sure she can generate enough draw to bring the cue ball off the long rail and back out centre table. She was looking to see if there was a pathway down the left side of the object ball to get to the 5. That's where she was laying her cue. And I think that little shrug of the shoulder would say that it's tight, so she's loading up with some right-hand side to get the most out of this as possible. And the cue ball will need to run around the 7, so big shot here for Seoa. Oh, she had to just bend the cue ball. Played it well. Left a thinner 6, but still at the table, and the 7 sitting very nicely in the open. It's only the 9 ball that needs to be given real consideration. But this cut on the 6 isn't that easy. And Seoa loaded up with right-hand side to ensure that cue ball didn't track towards the side pocket. And she's thinned it, leaving an even thinner cut for her opponent, Gradisnik. I'm not sure the cut is on. I'm not even sure the bank is on. She's called the bank into the top right. There may be enough room. So to break 2-2. Looks like she's moved over to the other side. And standing like a statue, looking at the table. No balls tracking towards the pocket. And on this occasion, leaving Anna a good look at the 1 and possibly a pathway around the 7 to come back for the 2. Her approach has been to err on the side of precaution, and there are good opportunities to play a safe from this 1. Now she played that well around the 7. The 3 has the bottom right pocket available, but not so easy to get position on it. She may need to come underneath the 3 here. Oh, she's able to find the gap underneath. As you can see where she dressed the cue on the table, looking to bring the cue ball top right long rail, bottom left long rail for position on the 4. And that's okay. Cue ball's going to be running a little bit more than she'd hoped. Oh, was looking to avoid the traffic. I didn't know if there was an option to try and run into the 9, but that's left Anna with a longer 5 here and a bit trickier than she would have liked. And as you can see, there should be quite a nice natural angle to come off the short rail around the 9 for the 6. Oh, and that's a great recovery shot. Just need to have a look at the angle she's got on the 6. The cue ball may be running into the 8. It looks like it will do. So maybe looking to bump into it and push the cue ball onwards. And avoided the 8. Great view from the overhead of what she's looking at with options on the 8. May just drop this in to stay close to the 10 ball for the 8 in the side pocket, which she has done. And from Seoa's dry break, this is exactly what Gradisnik wanted to return with, and more importantly, puts her on the hill with the break. She played it nicely. This 10 ball to put Anna on the hill in this opening set. And what a way to do it. Oh. That's unfortunate. After doing all the hard work, Seoa will be delighted to get out of the chair with an opportunity in the very least, and it's a cut on the 10. And yeah, there'll be no celebration with that one, but it does put Seoa on the hill first. And what a turnaround in one shot for this opening set. And it will be Seoa back to the table with the break. She will not be happy for her opponent having that either. It's very unfortunate. But how important that will be will remain to be seen. Over on our other table, another tight match underway. Kelly Fisher has on the hill in their opening set, 3-2 against Han Yu. That was always going to be a tough one as well. So Seoa to break, leading 3-2 in this opening set on the hill. And on this occasion, the blue 2 has crept into the side pocket with a look on the 1. Contrast to her last break. And Anna just sits back a bit more in her chair. It will unfortunately give her a bit more time to dwell on that 10. She'll need to put that behind her now and look forward to hopefully getting an opportunity at this rack. So we're looking to go on the offense. Looking to not bring the 4 ball into play in getting position on the red 3. Oh, yeah, decided to draw back, which is a more difficult shot. Didn't feel that playing with topspin would have got her the position. And it's just come short to leave this 3 available. Back in good position. All the balls have a pocket now. Little straight, as you can see from this great angle. She would ideally like to have a slight angle to bring the cue ball back out center table, but should be able to freeze the cue ball here. Well, why bother making it harder when you can play position like that? Confident shot bringing the cue ball round with loaded topspin on the cue ball. Finished nice and straight on the 6. And what a steal in the way that this opening set has gone. And without wanting to sound at all cruel, this is the way to punish a missed 10 ball. Not only to win that rack, but to follow it up with a break and run and take the opening set in what was up until then a very tightly fought contest, which did look like Anna was going to take the hill first. And so Seoa takes the opening set and quite solemnly walks away. Both players electing to take their timeout, or rather a timeout between the first and second set. If you want to keep an update on the scores while we bring... And a very warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Banca del Fucino WPA Women's 10-Ball World Championship. And you join us back in this losers' second round matchup between Seo Seoa and Anna Gradisnik. Seoa to get our second set underway after taking the first set 4-2. My name's Gethin Davis, flying solo in the comms box for this one. So we're making the 10 on this occasion. So we'll stay at the table, but no look at the 1. And for our viewers joining us, well, we had a tight first set, locked at 2 apiece. Anna Gradisnik looking like she was going to get on the hill first. Missed a 10-ball after a great clearance, which Seoa was able to capitalize on, and followed with a break and run to take the set in convincing fashion for the last rack. But, well, Anna's got to shake that missed 10 off. And having the opportunity for the timeout hopefully will have helped her. Just put that to one side. Has been playing very well. If anything to criticize, maybe a couple of safeties that could have been a little bit tighter. That little flick with the 1 may have helped. It looks like it's taken away half of the ball for Seoa here. There's a left edge for her to consider, perhaps. Always looking to avoid the 10. That's left this 1 ball available. And one thing to note, so Seoa's last 2 breaks, she's made balls off the break. Up until then, both players were just struggling to find the pocket from the break. So maybe Seoa's just starting to dial in a little, and in a winner breaks format, that could certainly bode well in her favour. No value in going for that 1 ball there, with where the 2 ball's situated. Didn't get cover with the 3. As you could hear, she just called to Carl Richards, rather Carl Richard, the side pocket. That's more as of insurance in case it does drop. But her focus was on getting that cue ball locked behind the 5. The 1 got hot and has actually come past the 5 to be available. It was a good attempt from Seoa. Yeah, wisely calling her extension. Both players getting 1 available per rack, and it was just starting to beep before she even approached the shot. Very wise reset. This is a tricky 1 to take on. It was a tricky 1 to take on, and she has made it. A lot of balls started moving after. The 3 tracked over towards the 7, but may still be available to that corner pocket. Ah, delightful shot. These wonderful Predator arc tables are not forgiving when it comes to side pockets. And I didn't fancy any chance of taking that on, but this is when I said needs to play better safeties. This is exactly what I was looking for from the Slovenian. Oh, Seoa running the risk of a scratch there, but made good contact. Had to put a bit of effect on that cue ball to bring it around the 10. And 2 has not fallen into an easy attacking opportunity, so Anna looking to put Seoa in trouble again. Looking for the 8. Oh, and that would just come up short, but it was tracking on the right line. And a good 2 ball. I think she's called it in the top right, playing the cut with an element of safety with the cue ball coming down past the 6. And it may have hung behind the 6 if it weren't for the 10. Cue ball making contact and coming out towards the center of the table, which has left this cut on if Anna wants to go for this, but difficult to control the cue ball and needs to be particular to get shape on the 3 if she wants to attack that as well. So part 1 complete. Will the 6 hamper her or not? Well, it's not completely obvious, but if she can, I feel she's going to attack this. No, was unable to see enough of the 3, and that's not worked out for Gradisnik here. Didn't see the 4 completely come to rest, and it looks like it's available to the bottom right pocket. I think Seoa wanted to either be on the rail or a bit further out towards the center of the table to get an angle to come out for the 5. She may be able to push through and find the gap between the 6 and the rail. Yeah, she cheated the pocket a little just to make sure. She has played a few delightful shots into that bottom right pocket. Straight on the 6 as well if you want to be picky. Was able to draw back, put herself in good position here to take the opening rack of the second set and really push on from that opening set, and you can't help but think that Anna Gradisnik just still has some flashbacks from that 10 ball. Did have an opportunity in this opening rack as well. Like I mentioned, was runner-up in the World 10 ball back in 24. So does enjoy both rotation and also 8 ball, picking up the 25 World Championship as well. coming here from taking the cheese in Austria as well. Was always going to be a tough opponent in this event. Didn't expect to see her in the losers bracket so quickly. Came up against a very tough Spaniard, Maite Repero. But we'll be looking to push on here, taking the opening rack. She leads 1-0 in the second set. As we just look over on our other table, the matchup between Kelly Fisher and Han Yu. Well, an exciting match over there. That one went to the hill in the opener. And it looks like Han Yu did take that opening set. And Kelly Fisher firing back with the opening rack in their second there. If you want to keep your eye on our other two stream tables in addition to this, table 3 and 4, we have the matchup between Minatani and the in question Maite Maria Teresa Repero Garcia. And on table 4, Kennedy Mayman from the US taking on the current defending champion, Cesca Centino. A lot of action on Pro Billiard TV. We also had our first shootout last night in the Fujifilm Women's Doubles Showdown. And that was a match between Chow and Tkach, who took on Wang and Mast. All matches you can watch back at your leisure on Pro Billiard TV. Seo Seoa to break, leading 1-0 in the second set. Had started to make balls. Her last two breaks were successful, but not on this occasion. And look at what Anna's been left with. Not even a look at the 1, but the 1 is locked against the 6. Has the option to play a push shot here, which will mean, for our viewers new to the game, that she can play any shot she wants here, except potting the 9, the 10 rather. Well, she can pot the 10, but it will get respotted rather, and she has called the push out, and it will mean that Seo Seoa will come back to the table and have the opportunity to take this shot on or give it back to Anna. The problem with playing off the right side of the 1 is that it could hang around that corner pocket, so a little teaser Anna's left for Seoa here. But she's come out of that well. The 6 ball actually came in and out to knock the 1 away from the pocket. And as you can see from the overhead, maybe an edge. The left edge of the 1 ball is available. And I'm just having a look at coming off the rail first for the kick and stick. Yeah, and there wasn't enough stick, I'm afraid. However, the 1 ball isn't in the open as much as Seoa would like to take this on. But she will take on the bank by the looks of it, knowing that the cue ball will stay high up the table for the 2. She's 1 for 1 on the bank so far, I believe. Not on this occasion. However, the 1 may not pass the 2. No, clearly. Can Anna pick a safety out of this position? There's a lot of traffic down at the bottom of the table, the right-hand side as you look from here. She can play an edge of this 1 and avoid the side pocket. Good things could come. She did avoid the side pocket, but took a big chunk of the 8 ball. That took the energy out of the cue ball. And the 3 threatened to get in the way, but I don't believe it has. Carl Richard just having a inspection of the one ball. I believe Seoa called the one into the corner pocket, maybe as insurance. Well, caught it thick. The cue ball threatened to come up and down the table until it contacted the 8. It's left a teaser for Anna here. And she's come round to have a look at the potting angle. Possibly running into the 6. Caught it thin. Ooh, and caught the jaws of the side pocket. Anna returning to her chair, not looking too happy. That would suggest that the potting angle is on for Seoa here. Yeah, as you can see from that angle, a very nice window for Seoa. She's played that delicately to hold for the 2 in the top left. Cue ball's going to be running a little. The 3 appears to have limited options. Oh, the 2 needed to be made first. It looks like it's hidden behind the 6. So Anna inspecting, coming across the table off the long rail. May even want to pick up a chunk of the short rail before getting to the blue 2. Did play to pick up the second rail. Didn't get the slide she was expecting. Off the second rail. And ball in hand for Seoa here. The only real... Well, I was going to say the only real concern would be the 5 and the 7. But I've just clocked that the 9 is not too far from the 10. There may need to be 2 cannons played here for Seoa. A 5-7 combination and a 9-10. We did see her in the opening set play a wonderful shot to develop. I think it was the 7 that was in trouble on that occasion. Like she was playing to make contact with the 5, possibly compromised the pot. Where that 4 has landed, there may be an opportunity to sneak it past the 10. No, it doesn't. As you can see from this angle, she's forced into playing this combination, and she has called it. Cue ball should come back across the table, which may leave the 4 available. If the 4 doesn't track too high, and a little wince away from Anna, a few things just not going her way, especially if the 10 respots in the way. Oh, when it rains, it pours. No contact made, ball in hand. Another look over at this 5-7 problem. Well, she attempted to dislodge the 5 last time. I'm wondering if that 5 passes up into the top left pocket. If so, coming underneath it will work. And has an angle for the cue ball to come out away from being obstructed by the 8. Will be the 6 ball next. Ooh, oh, she's got away with that. Caught the long rail way too high up. And that was not going in until it made contact with the 6, but it dropped in the pocket it was called for. So we're still at the table. But another insult to injury for Anna there. Would like to finish high for the 8 into the side pocket. He's played that really well and done just that. Now in prime position for the second rack in set 2. And you have to feel for Anna. Just doesn't look like she's been able to fully recover from the missed 10, which was magnified with Seoa's break and run to take the opening set. And these tucked away nicely from the ball in hand for Seo Seoa. And the 23-year-old from South Korea takes a 2-0 lead in the second set. She only needs this set to take the match. So a little bit of a hill mounting for Anna Gradisnik. We just have a little look out across the table. Over on table 5, Xiaofang Fu and Hong Xin-yu locked at 3 apiece in their opening set. If you want to keep an eye on all the scores for our matches in play, please do visit probilliardseries.com. And if you add a /live stats, you will get the statistics from our man Michael Salmon for both table 1 and table 2. As you can see, Kelly Fisher and Han Yu in action. Han at the table. They're currently locked, well, not locked. Han has taken the second and the third rack of the second set. She leads 2-1 in that second set and also 1-0 in set. So strong position for Han Yu over on table 1 right now. Commentary being brought to you from Mark White and Benjamin Belhassan over there. Wow, she went through a little phase with 2 breaks of making balls, but the last 2 have been dry, and that's really what Anna needs. But yet again, it looks like she's not been left anything to go out with the 1. Called a push out. And needs the 8 to bounce. Would have loved to have tied that 8 and 9 up, making the run out a little bit more difficult for either player, but just to give your opponent something else to think about. Cue ball hasn't run into the open for this 1. Gradisnik going airborne, jumping over the 3. Oh, wasn't far away. Where's the 1 going to run to, though? Not into trouble. generating a lot of power to bring the cue ball back out to get shape on this too. Just having a little look around. Every ball has a pocket. May be forced into taking the 5 into the bottom left for where the 4 ball is, as you can see in the bottom left of the screen right now. Yeah, and so we're really looking in the flow now. She is coming off the back of beating Jasmine Ushan 2-0 in the finals of our recent event in Austria. Played formidably throughout that tournament. And wanting to keep herself in with a chance here in Rome. It is double elimination. We're in the losers bracket, so the loser of today's match will be going home, so to speak. So we're looking very comfortable here, just needing to be particular with the cue ball for the window between the rail and 9. She really is looking like running away with it here. What a big moment that Miss Temple was, rather has been so far for Anna. Well, the stats were in Seo Seoa's favour coming into this second set, even though it was very close up until the last 2 racks. I can't help but feel that Seoa's running away in the statistics department now with a very good clearance yet again. Yeah, as you can see, tucking 8-2-9 in the player overall performance. And that being reflected with this 3-0 lead in the second set. She finds herself on the hill now for the match. And it is really going to have to come back the hard way. And the main difference for me, really, the safety efficiency and that unfortunate miss at a key moment in the opening set. Just to let you know, coming up today, we have more action in the Banca del Ficino WPA Women's 10-Ball World Championship. We have the winners' qualification. We also have the losers' qualification in the Predator Wheelchair Open. And continuing into this evening, we have more action from the Fujifilm Women's Doubles Showdown. And that has been entertaining, let me tell you. Seo Seoa to break on the hill in the second set. And this time, the cut break working as intended, making the 1 ball shape on the 2. Yeah, Anna hasn't really been let back into this match. Had an opportunity in the opening rack, but Seoa's just been allowed to get into another gear here. Oh, well, it looked tight to get past the 4. Made it. Put a lot of effect on the cue ball, but in contact in the 6 has just taken all the energy out, and no look at the 3. called it into the bottom right corner as insurance. Just really looking to make good contact and get distance between cue ball and 3. Did make contact. The 3 has leaked out and has a window between the 8 to get into the side pocket, and Anna needs to get her teeth into this match, rather this second set. Could this be an opportunity? Looks tight to hold for the 4. Played it a little thicker to hold the cue ball. Playing it to rub off the 8. Didn't push the 8 into a safe position either. That was very nicely done by Gradisnik. Yeah, good shot. Gets herself back into center table with the cue ball. This was the flow that she was in that 5th rack. Made a wonderful clearance against Seoa's dry break. And misses the 5. Same pocket where that 10 rattled. Has landed deep in the pocket. Ooh. She had a couple of looks at that, just maybe felt that the angle wasn't there to easily get the cue ball round for the 7, but it's all gone wrong, and Anna back to the table. Needs to get a number on the board here, I feel. She cannot let Seoa back to the table in this rack. Oh, and needs the cue ball to slow down, or has it sped up enough, or rather continued far enough? That would be unfortunate if not. Oh, it looks very tight. Nicely done. Might be hampered by the 9 a little here, but that would be a confidence-inspiring pot. This a big 8 ball. They must all be feeling big at this stage. Sat 3-0 down in the second set, but you've got to start somewhere. This really best opportunity she could have hoped for. Great recovery shot. Back in the driver's seat. Now this, a bigger 10 than you can imagine. This to put to bed that opening set. 10. And does it. A little shake of the head. She still knows there's a chance, but it's going to be a big mountain to climb. And as you can see from the break success, well, not much going her way as of yet, not having a break in the second set. Could this be the time for that just to start to turn in her favor? Well, we'll have a look at that, and while we do that, we'll just have a little update on the scores. Han Yu has really pushed on over on our other stream table with comms. She's 3-1 up now on the hill in the second set, leading 1-0 as well. As you can see, Kelly at the table, but the referee is about to pick up that cue ball and give it back to Han Yu, so perhaps Kelly will be going home earlier than expected. And we do have one result already in. Harin Lee of South Korea has beaten Andrea Cardona Anacona. Gradisnik to break. The 5's tracking. The 5 is tracking. And the 1 is available. That's all she could have hoped for coming to the table there, and good spread of the balls. Just needs to be a bit particular now. She's fallen a little thinner on this blue too than she'd have originally hoped, and that 7 ball is just a bit of a nuisance where it is. Played that very well. And with good position on the 4 here, puts herself in a very nice situation. We've only had 1 break and run so far. That was from Seo Seoa to take the opening set. This would be the time to return the favour. A little bounce off the rail will have helped. Just needs to be a bit particular with position on the 7 here. And we do have another result that's just come in as well. The defending champion Cesca Centino has won in straight sets against Kennedy Mayman from the USA. Now, that's worked out very well. That's just the right side of the 7 as she would have wanted. Oh, she seemed to just give up a little bit on the shot there. And again has done all the hard work. It's a cut on the 7. But wow. Yeah, she's played that good, bringing the cue ball across centre line. And, well, you have to say, too many gifts from Anna. She certainly demonstrated the ability to be able to run racks. But a couple of mistakes at the wrong time. And that's allowed Seo Seoa to put herself in this position. This 10 ball. And she will move through to the loser's 3rd round in straight sets. Wonderful handshake. Commiserations to Anna Gradisnik. She did need to bring her A game for this and looked like she had done, but just a couple of mistakes allowed Seoa in and to build momentum, and she will move through into the next round. If you want to continue with the action, please do join table 1 with the matchup between Kelly Fisher and Yu Han. That might be coming to a close sooner than Kelly would have hoped. And our action continues on our other streams on Pro Billiard TV. If you are enjoying this feed, please do like, share and subscribe. My name's Gethin Davis, and we look forward to having you back for our next round of matches in an hour and a half from now.